She was forced to sit alone at her sister's wedding until a single dad said, "Act like you're with me." The music was too loud, the laughter too bright. Everyone looked so happy. Everyone except Emily. She sat alone at the corner table, her lac bridesmaid dress crumpled slightly at the knees, her smile forced as she stared at her untouched plate. It was her sister's wedding, the happiest day of her family's life, and yet somehow she felt like a guest at her own heartbreak. Emily's ex-boyfriend, now her sister's husband's best friend, was at the next table, laughing with the others. His new girlfriend sat beside him, radiant in red, the kind of woman who looked perfect without even trying. Every time Emily's eyes accidentally met his, he smirked as if to remind her that she'd lost. When the music changed to a slow romantic song, couples filled the dance floor. Emily shrank deeper into her chair, pretending to check her phone. She could feel the whispers, the pitting glances. Poor Emily, still single. She excused herself and walked toward the outdoor patio. Cool night air brushed against her face. She exhaled, steadying herself. "It's fine," she told herself. "You're happy for your sister. You're fine." But she wasn't. That's when she heard a small voice. "Miss, are you crying?" Emily blinked. A little boy, maybe 6, stood near the doorway in a tiny gray suit, holding a half-eaten cupcake. His brown eyes were wide and earnest. She forced a smile. "No, sweetie, just taking a break." He nodded solemnly, then ran off toward the dance floor, straight to a man standing near the buffet. The man turned, following the boy's finger. His eyes, warm, curious, protective, met Emily's for a moment before he started walking toward her. Emily straightened, embarrassed. "Oh no," she muttered. "Now I look like the weirdo crying at a wedding." "Hey," the man said when he reached her. "My son said you looked sad." "I'm fine," she said quickly, brushing her hair back. "Just enjoying the fresh air." He smiled gently. "I get that. Weddings can be a lot." Tashi chuckled. "You have no idea. I'm Daniel," he said, offering his hand. "Single dad, professional cake taster tonight." "Emily," she replied, shaking his hand. "Bridesmaid, professional third wheel." That made him laugh. Really laugh. The kind of laugh that eases tension like sunlight through clouds. They talked for a while about the terrible DJ, the over-decorated cake, the flower girl who refused to throw petals and instead kept eating them. Daniel's son, Max, occasionally ran up to them, adding his own commentary that made Emily smile for the first time that night. Then the music shifted again, another couple's dance. The crowd's attention turned inward. Emily's ex and his girlfriend stepped onto the floor, holding each other close. Daniel noticed her face tighten. He followed her gaze, then back to her. Without warning, he said softly, "Act like you're with me." "What?" He smiled. "Trust me." Before she could react, he gently placed his hand on her waist, the other offering hers. "Let's give them something to talk about." She froze, startled, then laughed nervously. "You don't even know how bad I am at dancing." "Perfect," he said. "I'm terrible too." And somehow they danced, not gracefully, but honestly. He twirled her once, nearly bumping into another couple, and she laughed so hard she forgot where she was. For a few minutes, the whispers, the loneliness, the ache, they all disappeared. At one point, Emily looked up and caught Herrick staring at them, surprised. His arms stiffened around his new girlfriend. Daniel noticed too and simply whispered, "You look beautiful tonight." "He's an idiot." Emily blinked, caught off guard. No one had said that to her in a long time. Not like that, not with sincerity. As the song ended, she pulled away slightly, her chest tight with emotion she couldn't name. "Thank you," she said quietly. He nodded. "Anytime." But before she could reply, Max came running, holding 2 slices of cake. "Dad, I got one for you and the pretty lady." Emily laughed, kneeling down. "Thanks, Max. You're quite the gentleman." Max beamed. "You should sit with us. Daddy says it's rude to let nice people eat alone." Daniel's eyes met hers again. He's got a point, so she did. They shared cake stories and laughter until the night grew thin and the lights began to dim. Her family noticed. Her mother whispered something to her aunt. Her sister smiled knowingly from across the room, but Emily didn't care. When it was time to leave, Daniel handed her his card. "If you ever need a fake wedding partner again," he said playfully, "we're a good team." As she grinned, "I'll keep that in mind." As she walked to her car, Emily caught her reflection in a window, her eyes brighter, her shoulders lighter. For the first time in a long while, she didn't feel invisible. All it took was a stranger who saw her, not as a shadow in the crowd, but as someone worth standing beside. 2 weeks later, Emily stood in line at the grocery store, scrolling through her phone when she heard a familiar laugh. "Emily," she turned, and there he was. Daniel, a cart full of snacks and little Max waving from the seat. "Hey," she said, genuinely happy. "The cake taster returns." "Only on weekends," he grinned. "How have you been?" They talked for a few minutes, light and easy, until Max leaned forward and whispered loudly, "Daddy, invite her to dinner again." Daniel looked a little embarrassed, but Emily laughed. "You're persistent, Max. I just like nice people," the boy said simply. That line lingered with Emily. Nice people. How rare it felt lately. Simple kindness without reason or agenda. "So," she said. Yes, dinner turned into weekly meetups. Max grew attached to her. And Emily found herself looking forward to those moments. Messy laughter, spilled juice, board games, and that warmth she'd missed for so long. But what changed her the most wasn't the affection. It was what Daniel said one evening as they were cleaning up. "I saw you that night at the wedding," he said quietly. "You looked like someone who'd forgotten her own worth. I just wanted to remind you, sometimes you don't need to wait for people to choose you. You can choose yourself. And when you do, the right people show up." Emily froze, his words sinking deep. She realized then that his kindness wasn't pity. It was understanding. He'd been there too once, standing alone at someone else's celebration, pretending he was fine. The next morning, she did something she hadn't done in years. She called her mother and volunteered at the local community center, helping organize a weekend event for single parents and kids. She wanted others to feel what Daniel made her feel that night, seen, valued, and not alone. As she greeted guests that weekend, she noticed a young woman sitting by herself in a corner, awkward and withdrawn. Emily walked up, smiled, and said gently, "Hey, would you like to sit with us?" The girl looked up surprised and then smiled back. The same fragile smile Emily once wore. And in that moment, Emily understood what Daniel meant. Kindness was a chain reaction. One act, one word, one moment could light up someone else's darkness. Sometimes it starts with something as small as act like you're with. If this story hits your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Here, every story carries a lesson and a twist you'll never see coming.